Hello, guys.
Hi guys.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Afro Matters.
Welcome to Afro Matters. Afro Matters with Ollie and Jimmy.
And June.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, we've been talking about African history and we've been talking about our experience with racism. But today we're gonna have more of a discussion about, again, African history. I think we've come to the realization that there's so much that has been hidden and not taught or taught to us, and so I think throughout the week, I know I especially have been looking on YouTube,
making discoveries, man.
Trying to find out more about the history beyond slavery.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we have made mind-blowing discoveries about who we are, who you and I are. All right. So today, myself and Juni here, we will be talking about mind-blowing mysteries, discoveries. Let me not overblow it. Before they will start expecting. So we'll be talking about the hidden histories and identity about Africa. It's not, don't be expecting like lectures or something. We are just ordinary people.
Yeah, just having a discussion
about
things that we found out,
Yeah.
So even we were watching this YouTube video about African history and one of the reasons why Africa was conquered.
Yes.
And they said one of the reasons was...
He gave 5, isn't it?
Yeah, he gave 5. I can't remember what the first one was.
5. He called it 5 something.
Yeah, the five gate.
The 5 gates, yes.
Yeah. Some YouTuber called Home Team History. Yeah.
So you can go check it out. The guy talks a lot about Africa. Home screen history.
Home team.
Oh, home team history.
History.
Yeah. Don't mind me. She was the one that found it out. She played it, and we watched it throughout the day. I mean, throughout the morning till now, we were watching it. It is mind blowing. Home team history, right? Yeah.
So, and he said one of the reasons why he believes Africa was conquered was the naiveness of African kings and the African people, because they thought that the white man was like them in terms of their the reason why they were coming to meet and associate with us was because just to build relationship, but that was not the real reason. Relationship
and commerce and all that, and they believe that the white men share the same morality. The truth be told, we hold morality at high level. So they believed that the white man holds the same morality, and they have come to share commerce and everything with them. And again, he mentioned that Africans have this thing of strangers, welcoming strangers, like treating strangers like your own. We have it in Africa that whenever you see a stranger, you treat a stranger like your own, feed the stranger, give the stranger water to bath, where to lay his head. Even when the stranger is about traveling out again, you give the stranger everything he needs to travel. So this is a thing. It is a tradition. It's a culture in most African nations. So when the whites came, they tried to treat them like a stranger, a welcome stranger, not knowing they have an agenda. Agenda. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's quite sad because it's a betrayal. You built a relationship with your friendship, because they said they would send missionaries or missionary medics, and they'd come and build relationship. There was even one. It was with some empire in Uganda, I believe, and it was like the Portuguese, and the Portuguese came and brought Christianity, and he said like the king of that area became a Christian and held morals and stuff to a high standard, and like even more so than the people that brought Christianity to him. But he didn't realize that those Portuguese people were trying to subdue them and take them as slaves.
Yes.
And I was just like,
using religion as a tool.
It's just, you know, it's such a betrayal. It's such a betrayal. You know, when you genuinely want to build relationship or help people, you know, and you're not trying to be discriminative, if that is the word, discriminatory or discriminative, and then someone comes and betrays you and takes you as a slave, like.
Yeah, it's so disheartening. It's saddening. It's saddening that we welcome these guys and all they see in us is wealth. They see in our land is to exploit, you know. They came in, our kings, our people, we are astonished because of the way they look. They look so different than us. And then we welcome them, and they came with motives. They saw us as a discovery. That's the painful part of it. They saw us as a discovery. They saw us as a land to exploit. So our people welcomed them, you know, into their land, and what they get, the painful part of the whole thing is that they came with a tool, and it's one of the guys' points: religion. Religion. They came with a tool. Each ship they sent out to Africa, they will put a priest, a bishop, knowing that Africans are spiritual people. They hold their spirituality to a very high standard.
Yeah, they said that they'd come, and each place within Africa believed in God. You know, they called, the name for God was different, but they held God to such a high standard, and you know, morally in their life and everything. So then I guess they saw that, okay, these people really reverence God. Let's show them this is the true God, and then use it to control them, because then we know they're so submissive and reverence their higher power.
Yeah.
Because the same guy on the YouTube video was saying too that, like, when you go to Africans to find the history of man, you will find that almost every single African country within Africa believes that man was made from clay and breath was breathed into them, or some type of thing. So everyone believes that God, the Almighty, created, not a big bang or anything like that, but everyone believes that an Almighty God created them.
Yes. So out of the 5 gates that brought about the downfall of the almighty continent, Africa, the richest continent ever, the richest, and they still are the richest. The 5 gates that brought about the downfall of Africa. We've talked about one because the first one we talked about was due to their naiveness, right? They were naive. They made some stupid mistake thinking that white man is like them. They have the same morality. They have the same way of trading, commerce, and all that. But obviously, the Westerners proved them wrong. Secondly, the second gate is religion. They saw that these people are spiritual people. And let me tell you guys something, yeah? I don't know if you have noticed. The highest, no, not noticed, it is in history, and it still happens. Africans, an average African would respect their religious leader more than the president. An average African will respect their pastor. An average African will respect their pope. Pope is like a god to them.
Yeah, it's like the highest form of authority.
Exactly. So the highest form of authority in Africa is a spiritual head. All right. And this is what the Europeans, what the Westerners saw, and they exploited it. The first people they attacked, the first place they attacked is the temples, the holy places in Africa, and they killed some of their priests, priestess, and their teachers and all that. So they clear them out because they know without that priest, it's like you have chopped the head of something, and the body, now you can conquer the body. So what they did to Africa, they went to their shrines, their holy places and everything, and they killed their priests and everything, because they know Africa respects their priests. Like their priests, they hear from them, and the priest will not bow to the whatever the Westerners want to do, because most of them would have seen it and know that they have bad intentions. So they were taken out. Some of them were sold as slaves before they now did, and they now brought their own to us, telling us that their own ways are better, that their own religion, their own God is better. You see, that is one of the gates. So you do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we've been watching these things and reading and different things on Instagram. People saying or Facebook or Twitter, and like you learn and then you're troubled in your heart.
Yeah.
And then you learn and then you're troubled in your heart, and you learn and you're troubled in your heart, and then there's this constant feeling of these things that you're learning, like the history, they're great and wonderful, and it's encouraging to see that African people were civilized, but it's like you are disheartened, because it's like you're troubled that I can't believe all these things have been hidden from me.
Yes.
But like we all need to find our identity.
Yeah, we need to find it out. We need to, because we have like a great identity, which is why our identity threatens the Westerners, I'm afraid to say. It is a threat to them, because if it wasn't a threat, why would they attack our identity so much? They went so much as when they took slaves from our land, they forced them to change their name and their surname. They were forced to change their name. All right. So this is what they call clearance of identity. So you won't remember anything. They wouldn't want them to teach their children about where they come from. It wasn't allowed. And another thing they did, there was a particular year, I don't know the precise year. There was what they call revolution of arts, because one thing that Africans used to keep or preserve their tradition and history is through arts. So you see them write it on the walls. You see them write their history with artworks, and they do understand these things, because they have taught us that education came from them, which is obviously a lie. We introduced education and forms of education. They have thought.
The thing is, it's not obvious.
Huh?
You're saying obvious. It's not obvious, because we are taught to believe that they did.
Yes.
So everyone believes obviously it's the white man. It's actually the reverse.
Yes. Actually, yes.
Yes.
You are right. Thank you for correcting me there, because everyone believes obviously education is from the white.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is a lie. All right, we have form of education, we have form of preservation, like cultural history and tradition preservation, and we do this through artworks. You see it in our arts, you see our lives and what we do in our arts. But the thing is, when they came to Africa, first they attacked our holy places, they disseminated our holy places, they took out our and another thing they did is they destroyed our histories through the arts that we have made. They destroyed it, and it's quite difficult to now.
Like we were saying that, like in Egypt, right? All those statues. Like, why is it that it's just their face that is removed?
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why is it just their face? Why is it not the other parts of their body? Is
exactly.
it because if they remove their face, you're removing their identity, and then you want to hide someone's identity? You want to hide the identity. What are you trying to hide? And
what are you trying to hide?
Why are you removing someone's face and nose? Their facial features, which shows who they are. It's like there must be an agenda.
Exactly.
There is something.
Because they know what they want to do. Egypt was about the last place they attacked, because Egypt have a very strong arts and culture. They attacked and they wanted to take over Egypt. They want to clear all the aborigines there out. That's why they started breaking off the noses of the statues. You see, mark this thing that I tell you now. Any very old statue in Africa, watch, the Westerners have knocked off the nose. Yeah, it's funny, but go and check it. Check all the Egyptian statues. Egyptians, they will knock off the nose. Why are you knocking off the nose? Because you know the hair might not be so clear, yeah? But when you see the pictures and everything, you will see the hair, that it is a woolly kind of hair. It's not their type of hair. But they say, okay, they can make another style of hair. Let's knock off the nose, because the nose will make it obvious what that art is depicting or where it's from. So they knocked off the nose. So it is very funny, and it is very terrifying the extent these people went to wipe so many things off from the history. But we are here, and we are not specialists we are not historians and all that, but we are calling on Africans wherever you are, whatever information you can get. We are in an information age. Share it online. Post it, share it in groups, so that people will see this, people will understand this. Share it, whatever information, find it wherever it is, share it on Facebook, on chat rooms and all that, so people will get to understand who we are.
Because even most people, and I'll say even myself, if you ask me, even just a few years ago, what was going on in Africa before slavery, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Nobody teaches you that. What happened before? All you know is slavery and after. Slavery, this is what happened. The white man came, and then African Americans, this, that. You don't know about what happened. You just, because nobody teaches you.
Nobody teaches you now.
Nobody teaches you. But in fact, there were like kingdoms, there were empires, there were, technology and advancements that were beyond even that era, but they don't teach you that.
Like the one we were watching, like Caesarean section. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, Caesarean.
Caesarean section. Like it literally started in Africa. Can you believe that? Caesarean section started in Africa. Not Zambia.
Is it Uganda? Maybe I mixed that one.
No, what's the other one? It's not Zambia, it's not Uganda, it is Zimbabwe, I think.
No.
It's not Zimbabwe, right?
I don't know.
No, one of these Africa, I believe it's East Africa. It's East Africa. Yes. Yeah, so cesarean section actually started
and there's record of it. Like someone,
yes,
there was one of those white missionaries again that came, white medic missionaries that came, and he clearly documented even how they went about this step by step,
the process,
who held what, the equipment they had,
exactly,
you know, how they medicated the person, whether she felt any pain. Like, they were so astonished, and these people, they did it so professionally. Like, they've mastered it. And this was back in the time where in certain parts of the West, women were dying from surgery because of, you know, it was unhygienic and things like that. But in Africa, and they said that particular country had learned it from other parts of Africa.
So you see, like these guys, they have their traditional way of administering anesthesia. Was it they call it banana juice?
Banana wine.
Banana wine, yes, banana wine, yes, thank you. So this banana wine, you drink it and you like pass out and you won't feel any pain.
Even I've never heard of banana wine. I was have you heard of banana wine?
No, I've not heard about it before. Like, that was my first time of hearing banana wine.
I should start a business. Get banana wine.
Start banana wine business, right?
Like,
yeah. So this banana wine was used as anesthesia to make the. And do you know? You remember, it took 11 days, right?
Yes.
11 days for that surgery to get healed.
So they said even there's a particular material and herb they use for the wound of the cesarean section. And then they said that, like, it was checked on the first day, it was checked on the second day, the fifth and the sixth day, and on the 11th day, the wound was completely healed. And I asked a friend of mine, I said, when you did a cesarean, how long did it take to heal? She said it took 6 weeks, they say. They say it takes 6 weeks. But hers took about 4 to 5.
You see?
I was like, wow.
You see? So you see how awesome. And they say the woman was up and about after the operation. She was she wasn't feeling any pain.
Yeah, they said that the white medic wrote that the woman did not cry once during the surgery. And this is like, this is before epidural, where you don't feel the lower part of your body, before all of that.
Yeah.
Even I've heard people have had epidural and some of them still feel pain.
Pains, yeah. It's awesome. When I saw that, I said, oh my God. Like, we can go on and on and on and on and bring about technologies that started from Africa. Like, some things you think that the white men brought to us is actually we that brought it to them. They took so much from us. What they do is, because they have the media, they will just take that idea or that knowledge from us, go and get it all polished, all westernized. I won't say polished because ours is polished the way they are. All right, we like it the way they are. So when you say polished, it seems like they make it better. No, we like it the way they are. They will take it back home and make it westernize package it, and tell you they are the ones. Just like Columbus, they say he is now the one that discovered Africa, when actually he learnt exploration of nations from Africa. They said, what is his first name again? I want to forget his name anyways. Christopher Columbus, that man. That man, they said he is the one that discovered Africa. They said this man, his mentor, is an African man. Do you understand? He said the man that he looks up to is an African explorer that have gone to so many seas, to the end of the seas and everything. That Africans, there was this emperor in Africa that sent his soldiers, like, we are talking about 2,000 ships. Send them and say, go to the end of the world and find out what is there. And if you don't come back. That was what that African emperor told his soldiers. And they went. One man came back. It was this man that Christopher Columbus was looking up to. So why are you now making it look like you are Christopher Columbus discovered his grandparents? That's that is like why I say, don't get me wrong, I'm like grandparents, I mean, is like Africa is the mother earth. Why would you say Christopher Columbus that doesn't even have history that dates back to African history, that he discovered us? Like, I take that as an insult. I don't know what you say that.
No.
It is really an insult, yeah.
So yes, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
And in Africa, in Egypt, I believe, they found this clock or this engine head or something. As they say, the technology that they used, and this is about, I think, 300 BC or something. It is so old, like 2,000 years ago. So when they checked it, they said the technology that they used in this device, it is far ahead of the technology that is being used now. So now tell me something like that, you found it in Africa and you don't even know what it is. You are studying it. Your scientists are studying it. When you have stolen the technology, the idea in that particular device, you will now go and westernize it. You package it and you say it's yours. Why the idea you got it from Africa? That is what I call unfair. It is unfair.
And then even there was where was it? There was a part of Africa as well that the Portuguese went to, and it was Zimbabwe. It's in Zimbabwe, yes. Zimbabwe. And they made this stone court, because they call it, in their language it's interpreted into the term as court.
Yeah.
And it was made without mortar, and they were so shocked they didn't believe that these people made it.
Yes.
And they made it. Why? Because they're black, you can't believe they can make a what you call it, something like that.
Something so beautiful. They
were astonished. They said, "Oh, how could these people possibly make such a monument without mortar that they couldn't?" So who did God come and make that thing? It's nonsense.
Yeah. The thing is, these guys, they just want to rule over you, exploit you, and all that. The Benin Wall is the longest wall in the whole planet Earth, and it still is. Benin Wall, they say the Benin Wall is bigger and longer than the China Wall. But right now in history, when they say the longest wall ever, everyone will say Wall of China. But no, the longest and the biggest and mightiest wall ever was the Benin Wall, the wall that surrounded the Benin Empire. All right, but the British, because they don't want to hear that anything good comes from this place, they brought down this wall. They brought down this wall. They didn't just bring it down. All right, bring it down and write it in history now. It would have been fair, isn't it? You bring it down, but you put it on history that these people have this type of wall. No, but you brought it down and you wiped it out of history. But we thank God for some godly men, some godly historians. I call them godly because they would rebel against these people and still put out that history on the internet. Yeah, when you go to the internet, I will give you something. Go and check the longest wall ever. The longest and the biggest wall ever is not China. It is Benin Wall in Nigeria. And the British brought it down. So you see what I'm saying? And the first lettering, like writing, is from Africa. It's from Africa. This guy, I can't remember his name again. He was talking about, he said that what they call civilization and everything, that it started from Nigeria. It started with the Igbos. Because when you come there, you now see civilized people, godly people. What they do is they preach peace. They fight for peace. They are the ones that started giving women chances in life, chances in life. They have priests that they respect, one of their highest respected person. They are priests, and they have priestesses that they respect, women, and they have chiefs, and they have women as chiefs as well. So you see that civilization and education actually started from Africa. But now they made it look like they discovered us, gave us civilization, gave us education. We don't even know, we are turning around on the sand. We don't know anything until the almighty Westerners came.
But as you know, we're watching these things and learning these things, or you know, you know a lot of these things anyway. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
My dear, I will tell you the truth. It's a mixed emotion. Like, sometimes I feel like being proud of myself. Sometimes I feel so sad. Like, I feel so sad.
That's why, like, because we watched something, the cesarean came from Africa, and instead of feeling joy, you feel sadness.
Yeah, the sadness. Yeah,
You feel sadness.
The sadness makes sense.
I know it makes sense, but it's something that you should be like, wow, I'm proud to be African.
Why would you be proud?
Being proud, you're like, oh my God, see what has been hidden.
Listen, Jimmy, you know why? Sometimes I want to be proud, but when I remember, why am I proud when nobody even knows about it?
That's
nobody knows about it. They've taken away from me. See, a lot was taken from us. I don't like being a victim here. I don't like playing a victim. Nobody is holding me captive. I'm a free man, and I thank God for that. But the thing is that when you think about it, a lot was taken from us. You came to a land, and these people welcomed you, and they are ready to share some things with you. And you started attacking them. You started taking their stuff. You didn't even stop at that. You started taking human beings as slaves. You know? And these people, you are still exploiting them even until date. So it is quite saddening. I know this type of topic is not something people always comes out and talk about, but it has to be talked about.
And I think it's part of the process. Like, in order to heal, you must learn.
Yeah.
Like, you must learn. Like that, there's that part in the book of Thomas where it says that those who seek, you'll find. When you find, you'll be troubled. When you're troubled, you will then be marveled. And when you are marveled, then you will rule. The thing, in order to overcome some of these, you need to seek out the truth. Yeah. And the truth isn't always pleasant.
It is not.
And the truth takes time to digest, especially when the truth is not pleasant. Like, we're learning about this African history. Like, some people may want to not know about it because it will break their heart, or the emotion that comes with it. And the more you know, the more that emotion you're struggling with. But the thing is, you need to learn. You need to deal with that emotion. It's part of healing. It's part of overcoming. It's part of going to that next level.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the process.
Yeah.
You need to go and learn about the history. As painful as it might be, it's just what we have to go through.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, so wherever you are, if you're an African, I know these things are very sensitive, but the truth is that the way it is to you is the same way to me. But we have to start doing something. Like, you talk to someone and that person will share how sad they are about these things. And you ask the person, what have you been doing about it? They say, what can I do? The problem is too deep, I don't want to call it eternal, because I know someday we will get back what is ours, get back our history and our identity. But the thing is, the little you do can go so much. Like, it can go so fast, bringing healing to us. So, like what we are doing now, we're not historians, we're just ordinary people like you. So, and we think that sharing these things will help you, to acknowledge these things. If you are ignorant about it, you kind of get like enlightened about these things. So you don't just hide and always play a victim, or so that people will feel sorry for you. That's no solution.
The point of this is not to be it's not to be the victim. It's not to be like, oh, being victimized. Oh my God, the white man did this. Oh my God, the white man did that. But it's part of the history and you have to learn. But before slavery, there was so much greatness and so much great things that were going on. And we need to know that and acknowledge that and see where we come from, so we know where we're going to. We weren't just an uncivilized group of people who a white man came and made civilized and educated and taught them technology. No, we used to travel. We used to travel on boats. We brought our possessions. We brought our riches, all the things that we had, and showed them. And that's how they even knew we had it.
Exactly.
Because we went and showed what we had. So it's we're not trying to be victimized. We need to learn from it and grow. Because there's greatness inside of us, and we need to make use of that greatness.
We need to discover
because so much of this oppression of generational has made people have low self-esteem and low self-worth, to think, oh, I'm not better than my white counterparts. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get there because of the color of my skin, or because I'm dark, or because I'm this, or because I'm that. No, we shouldn't think like that. You should. There is greatness inside of us, and we need to use it.
And the thing is, we still have this greatness, but like Jumi rightly say, we have to know it. You can't be free until you know who you are. Well, okay, if they set you free, where are you going to? What are you going back to? You have to be free inside before you are free outside. You have to know your identity, understand your history. Like in the United States of America, when they celebrate African history, it pains me so much. All you hear them talk about is slavery and their Pan-Africanists that fought for independence. That's all you hear about. I say shame unto you people. So you think that is African history. Why not say history of slavery or history of the sold slaves? Why would you make it general and say African history? Are you serious? So all you think about Africa is slavery. We are warriors. We are historians. We are explorers. We explore with big ships. We are fighters. We are warriors. The Europeans used our soldiers to fight some of their wars. None of these emperors are spoken of. No. They've just wiped us out of history, and we are accepting it, thinking slavery is our history. And they call you Mother Earth. Africa, Mother Earth. Can't you hear that? Mother Earth, you are the oldest. What is the story about your ancient nature? What do you know? You don't know nothing. And you are not worried about it. That's the problem right there. That's the problem right there.
And I think too, in the age that we are now, of everything fast, information fast, a lot of people too don't read.
Yeah.
People don't like to read it. People don't like to read anymore.
They don't read it. It was like that before, let alone now. That internet and everything is out there. Nobody wants to read.
Nobody's reading.
Nobody wants to read
history.
Again.
Because some of these things in history, thank God for YouTube. People are now putting it on YouTube for people to listen to. But some of them, in order for the people that put it on YouTube, they have read it somewhere. Yes. There was no video recording of it. They read the document and are now making a video about it. But the only reason they know about it is because they read.
Yeah.
They read something.
Yeah.
The people are just used to, let me just watch all of that 5-second thing or this, that. It's nobody wants to read anymore.
And don't get all these mixed up, yeah. They always say Even they have this, they are saying in the Western world, that if you want to hide something from a black man or African man, hide it in a book. Because African men, they don't like reading. But we know the records we are breaking educationally, academically, we are breaking records everywhere in their own country. In America, like we don't have rivalry in America. We don't have, like, we are breaking records academically. But they are saying somehow they are right about that, putting something in a book, because most Africans, they don't like reading. All right, and who initiated that?
Most Africans don't like reading.
Yes.
Why not?
No, listen. Let me tell you something. I said not all of them, but average. You know why I said that? Because they took away books from us. And when I say African, I mean the ones in America. African Americans, the ones. So, because these ones in Africa, we are not affected by this. They took away books from them. They showed them drugs. They showed them other things.
Okay.
Yeah, they took away books and everything from them. They don't want to see them with books. Like, even we being spiritual, the Bible was like gold. We don't even have access to it. They don't want you to know anything. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know your history. They took everything away. But then, we are still thriving. We are still thriving. Academically, we are thriving. So you don't tell me that we don't like reading. No, that's a big lie. We do like reading. So
I like reading.
Yeah, I love reading. You need to see my library of books, man. You need to see my library. I'm proud to say that. Any of my siblings will tell you that. Like, I read a lot. I lock myself in a room and I read and read. So, and now there is internet. I do more of researching online because you have many resources. They are readily available to you to use. So I tell you guys what, man. Make researching. See, like Jumi rightly said, when you search, when you seek, you will find. And when you find, I use my own word, you will be shocked. You will be shocked. When you find the truth, you will be shocked. I'm telling you. And after you are being shocked, you will marvel.
Yeah. When you're shocked, expect a kind of overwhelming emotion, or maybe sadness or happy joy, because that shock is a real shock. You'll be confused about what to feel, but it's part of the process.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. We need to understand that it's part of the process. Everyone is going to feel like that, but then after that, will come the victory.
Exactly. So guys, man, let us do something. Let us research. We are not preaching hatred. We are preaching the facts, which everybody knows. None of us here is a racist, and we don't preach about racism. But see, people in the guise of not being a racist, they tend not to say the truth about what really happened because they are scared of being called racists. No. Talking about what happened, it is history. It should be talked about, no matter how sensitive it is. Yeah, so we have to talk about it, because talking about it helps us heal. It helps people heal. When people really know who they are, know their worth, know what they are, not what the Westerners told them that they are. I mean, it brings about self-worth. It brings about pride. Your pride will come back and not pushing us to a corner. So let us research about us. I tell you this, if you're an African man, don't just sit back and read what you call education, that the Western man told you is education. Read about yourself. Discover yourself first. When you discover yourself, the end thing is, joy. You will be pleased. knowing who you really are, not who you were told you are. It is very pleasing. We are still in this process. We are doing this and we are enjoying it.
Yes.
We are, no matter.
It's hard, but
exactly.
it's uplifting. It's uplifting.
It's uplifting.
And constantly, the more I don't know about you, but the more I find, the more I'm like, okay, God, what am I meant to do? What do you want me to do? What am I going to do with this information? How am I going to make things better? So there's, God will continue to guide us, because these things are beyond.
It is not easy.
Human strength and human knowledge, because it's just so deep and so manipulative. We don't have all the wisdom.
We don't have all the wisdom, so that's why I always depend on the teacher here, the Holy Spirit, to teach me, to direct me towards the materials I read. And Jimmy, what do you think? Let's read what that one of our African sisters said to you. You don't have to call her name. Let's just read what she said, so you guys will understand how people feel about these things. There is a chat between one of her friends. She read it out to me, so I think she should read it here, so you see like the thought of some of our African
I was just basically
sisters.
saying, through all this, do you feel like, you're doing something, or do you feel like you're not doing enough? And the person said, she's like, I don't even know. I'm educating people, but at the same time, I feel a little bit lost for hope, because it's heavy. All this new information about blacks that they don't want us to know keeps being revealed, and it makes me upset all over again.
You see? Like, the revelation gets her upset, and these things are good things, but it gets her. Would you blame her?
No,
like, it's just like you are in the gutters, eating from the gutters for years, and someday someone will come and say, oh, aren't you the king's child? You'll be like, are you serious? You are mad, you are joking. And all to later discover that your dad is the king. Let's say you are a child. If it's in America, you are Donald Trump's child. Like, it will break your heart at first. It will break your heart. It will shatter your heart. Say, so my father has been the king and I have been suffering for years. It will take time to recover from that. So this sort of thing is what happened to Africa. The wealthiest continent on the planet Earth. The most peaceful continent on the planet Earth. But now we are termed the most violent. We are termed the rogues. We are termed the fraudsters. Sorts of name. The dark nation. The third world. Everything. The black man. Man, if you are another race, man, it's not easy. Trust me. Trust me, it's not easy. But we will get out from this.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there.
Just continue to learn, educate, lift people up.
Yeah.
You will get better. It's not something that will happen overnight. Definitely, it's not. It's not. But it will get there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. We can. Like, my healing is in the process. Like, I've gone far. Like, I feel good about the whole thing. I feel good to know that I'm from this tribe, Africa. Alright,
I think that's a wrap.
Alright, yeah. Let's wrap it up. Alright, guys. Thank you for listening to Ollie and Jimmy. Afro Matters. Join us again the same time on a Saturday, 3 p.m. GMT
time.
Yeah, join us. Let's talk about Africa. And if you have a very interesting topic that you would want to talk about, and you have it, we can go through it and we can bring you on set to talk with people. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yes.
So just drop us a note there, and we have our Twitter and our Instagram. All of them are Afrayahu. The control is Afrayahu, YAHU. Just find us in Twitter, Afrayahu, and in Instagram as well, and on YouTube, Afrayahu. So check us out, and I mean, you'll be blessed, and you'll be proud you're African, mate. See you later.
See you later.
Bye for now.